Hello, Presidente here, UP RC Outlaws, bringing you episode 1 of our new episodic adventure, Meet the Outlaws. We're going to go through all the Outlaw members. You'll get to meet them a little bit, see how they got into the hobby, check out some of their trucks, and just make some fun RC videos. You'll see more action, of course, but this is something that we want to do for each other and for the world to see some of the fun stuff in the hobby. Before I begin though, I would like to answer a couple of questions that have been brought up to me. First one, and the most important one, is a lot of people have asked, how do I become an outlaw? The short answer is you can't. We do not have an open door membership policy. We seek out members. We get to know people personally, actually get to meet them, hang out with them, make sure that they're just cool, awesome people that are only in it for the RC stuff. We keep all the political, religious stuff, that's your deal. We're only here for RC trucks, that's it. So there is a chance, obviously, to get in. Once we meet you, hang out, make sure that you're only in it for this. We have a lot of different personalities, a lot of different cultures. We're not prejudiced against anybody by any means, none of that. We just want to make sure you're a cool person. That's it. So with that being said, the next question is, a lot of people ask what kind of a deal we get at our local hobby shop, GrowMax. If we, do we get better deals being outlaws? Do we get higher percentages off? Anything like that? That is another no. We do not. We support GrowMax a lot. You'll see a lot of our videos, we're always saying GrowMax, and you see the little cards pop up in the videos, grow your hobbies at GrowMax. Some of us know Dave, the owner, personally. I didn't know him right away. Some of the outlaws already knew who he was before they were even outlaws. We had made it a point the second that Dave decided to open up his grow shop to become a hobby shop as well with the RC cars. We made it a point to make sure that we support him, buy parts that we need from him. When we first started this club, we had no hobby shops close. Hour and a half away or so, that would have been the closest one, I believe. So if you only had a few trucks, or when you had one truck, I had one truck, will be the first one I show you. If I broke a part, I was out of part for a while, because if that shop didn't have it, I had to order it. So you're sitting on broken trucks for a week or two. And yeah, now that we have a local hobby shop, we are going to support him as much as we can. GrowMax also has an indoor carpet track that some of us race in the wintertime. And he just built a huge outdoor complex that puts a lot of the RC outdoor tracks to shame. It's an awesome, awesome place. So as much as we can support him, we do. As far as getting more money off or him giving us free stuff or anything like that, if you're watching this and you know who we are at all, you get just as much free stuff, if not more, than I do. We try to pay, some of us try to pay full prices. Dave always cuts a lot of people deals to get them in the hobby, get them going, keep them up and running. So we appreciate Dave for everything he does for everybody. So we support him. We're not sponsored by GrowMax, nothing like that. So we'll put that one to bed. And now, questions are answered, so here we go. I'm El Presidente, the president of the UP RC Outlaws, co-founder. Started the club itself, I think only about maybe 4 years ago. I might be wrong on timing, I don't know. But about that long ago, after we all had trucks and were up and running. You'll see Jimmy T, one of our board members. I think he's the first one around our small group that I think he picked up an e-Revo. Then he tried to convince me to get one. I did not want to get into this hobby. And then my father-in-law, JD, who you'll get to meet down the road here, he picked up a Summit. and I still wasn't getting in. And then Appy, the vice president, he picked up a Rustler 2-wheel drive, set it up with a castle system and went all brushless with it. So I finally decided that I would look for a truck used. I did not want to go down the wormhole and start doing that because you can't really see a lot, but I already have collections, too many collections. So I picked up a nitro truck, and I hated this hobby. It was horrible. Had the old pull string. Every time you go to start it, you'd rip the string out or it wouldn't start. And when it did start, by the time you got it tuned up, you had about 5 minutes before the tank was empty. And then you had to go through a whole process again to get it to start again. So I was out, and then finally they convinced me to get one truck. So I picked up the truck, and now it's not even a hobby, it's a lifestyle. We do this every day, all day. It's insane. Which I thought was going to drive my wife crazy, but she is actually a paid member of this club. Yes, I make her pay to be a member. I pay it, but she's a member, paid member. She actually got into the enjoyment and lifestyle and just the camaraderie of what we do as a club. She got into it, so it went okay. So I'll show you, we'll start with the first truck. Obviously you see the tables, got a bunch of trucks on them. I only want to go through a lot of the trucks I play with the most, so that's why these are just hanging out as show pieces. Got the ginormous Hummer, don't even know the brand of it. It was a Radio Shack Hummer. I actually got this from my nephew because he had it ripped apart and it wasn't working. It's one of the big dual motors, motor on each axle. It's pretty wild. Takes a big 12 volts. This is my 2-time award-winning car that I didn't want to get, to tell you the truth. The Vortex, when they first came out, I mean, this was the GT. This was pretty cool looking. Used to have a sweet back bumper. I didn't want to get one. The Legend actually picked up 1 or 2 real fast, and we did a trade deal. That one was almost brand new, so I said I'd get one. And then Gromax opened up the carpet track. Before you know it, I'm racing. And thanks to the Legend actually dropping out, got my 3rd place trophy. Frustrating. Like even right now, I don't do the summer track racing because I have more fun just bashing, and we play with a lot of trail trucks now. So, and then at our Outlaw summer event, if you see in our Facebook pictures at all, you'd see a lot of these floating around. Everybody voted on their favorite car during the car show, and then you win an award. Me and the First Lady built all of these except for the mini one. The Legend built that one. The cool part about the trophy is we try to use all broken parts just for something neat, something unique. Every broken part in that trophy cup, we gathered parts from everybody in our club that would throw parts at us, broken ones. And that's how we made the trophies. Every broken part in that actually came off of this car, so I literally won my parts back. A Facebook cover photo that we used quite a few times, and I think it's back up there right now, but you'll see a trail truck, HPI Venture, this actual truck, was crushed in the picture. It got run over by a truck. So don't park your RCs underneath real vehicles, they will lose. So I put this one back together, and it was not mine at the time. It was actually the Legends, and then Dave from Gromax ran it over, backed right over it. So I got that up and running, and you'll see in the picture it had a roof rack, and I'll explain that in a little while. The little Teton, play with those once in a while. Me and the First Lady will take those out, give them a quick rip. This is an RTG I got off of a trade deal. If you ever want to get into trail trucks but you're not really sure, this is a good starting point. I have RC 4-wheel drive steel wheels on here right now to add a little bit of weight. But all in all, even with the stock tires, it's a really light truck, real short wheelbase. But if you just want to start out and try something, those stock are pretty good. So now to the very first RC I've ever gotten. If you've seen Traxxas stuff, I'm sure everybody has seen the Bandit. So I bought the Bandit VXL. When I bought this one, it was really expensive. They're still expensive, but not as bad now. Looked a little different. One of the biggest things about our club and the members is we do a lot of trading, swapping, buying, selling between each other also. So an old club member actually got this one for a while, but I bought it brand new. Didn't like it right away because it had the small little stubby tires on it. And I started out playing out in wet grass for the most part with it, and you couldn't get it to move. It was so fast, so quick, that I would just burn tire and do donuts. And for being the first electric car, I was a little disappointed because I was pretty new to the hobby as far as how far it's come. So I wasn't sure if you could put different tires on them. I didn't know what they all had really. And then when I found out you could, I put a little bit bigger tire on it. I believe I put on stock Rustler tires, which are just Bandit tires, the small ones, but bigger, like that wide. And then it was on from there, and that was the starting birthplace of this club. Really, was we all had a conversation, and let's start a club, keep it exclusive, because at that time this hobby wasn't really that. It was big up here, but it was kind of hidden due to the fact that no hobby shops, nothing like that. There was a few tracks, but unless you knew somebody, you didn't go to them. You really didn't know about it. So this one I've actually put back to stock, let my kid use it for a little bit. He was over it, so I ended up trading it to somebody. And as soon as I traded it, I regretted it because this was the fastest. I had this set up to be the fastest car in our club. No one could touch it. It was just lightning on wheels. So now that I have it back, it's getting close. Yes, you see tractor tires on the back and all that going on. We just shot a video not too long ago about a Traxxas E-Revo, and so I'm actually going to race the Legend with this one once it's back up. But instead of getting the extended wheelie bar, I decided to just put bigger wheels on it, because it's got, between everybody that had it, the shocks are super stiff, so they do not tuck the car. The car will just ride wheelies. So the suspension barely gives. So it rides like this, or it'll hop right up on the wheelie bar. Once this is up and running, you'll see another video of some Bandit speed runs. Alright, next up, this one's just pretty new. I just got this one put together out of a whole bunch of other trucks. It's a two-wheel drive slash, technically, with Revo / Summit parts introduced into it. The body itself is made for the E-Revo or the Traxxas Summit, but as you can see, the chassis is just stock two-wheel drive slash. Nothing too extreme. Just if you're gonna get big into the hobby, you should get a slash, jack a body up, put monster truck tires on it. You would not believe how much fun they are. To me, not as fun as a Stampede yet, but there's a little more stability with these. Stock slashes, they're great trucks, don't get me wrong, but I've had so many that I don't even care anymore. Actually, there's some hanging up there. The First Lady actually runs a brushless version right now that we have set up that's actually really, really fun. I don't like to take it because every time I do I break it, but the hot rod body, painting these is a pain in the butt. No matter which way you mask it, once you start getting detail to the motor, that's why you'll see a lot of them, like this one for instance, where you can tell people started to do the detail and then you just start giving up. But I did one, so this one's not going to be technically a show truck body. This one will be bashed, so I'm not too worried about it, but all of the towers to mount the body, because these will not fit on the slash, so the front mount is actually a Revo, and I can't zoom in, but it's actually a Revo Summit front, and the back was from the old Nitro Slayers, which the Slayer was an E-Revo chassis with shortened axles, It's got the Slayer mounts on it. It's about it. I actually put all four of the shocks on this are actually slash front shocks as well. These are not the slash back shocks. These are off of the front. I wanted it to be shortened. It tucks the wheels in a little bit without having to change the angle on it. With the longer ones, the angle of the tire actually kicks out a little bit more, and I was just going for a monster truck style look. If you're a solid axle monster truck guy or an axial guy, you'll recognize these tires as well. And looking at everything, I mean, you're going to see a lot of Traxxas trucks. That's what I play with honestly the most, because when they break, super easy to fix, parts are super cheap. In essence, I'm not a Traxxas fanboy. I'm just an RC car fanboy, in case anybody's wondering, because you'll see a lot of Traxxas. But these tires right here, you'll notice them off the solid axle stuff, so I'll pull that one. The newest truck that I've purchased is, yes, the Gravedigger SMT10. Sean in our club picked up one of these. Actually, I think he ordered it a while back before I've seen him around our shop even. I fell in love with it right away. I never wanted solid axle was another thing I really didn't care about it unless it was a crawling truck. But the solid axle monster truck, when it lands and shakes the body like a real monster truck, I don't know. It's back to being a little kid again. Loved it. So I stared at his all night and finally found a deal where somebody picked one up, brand new in the box still. I think they picked it up for somebody else. I don't know the whole story, but it was brand new in the box and it was readily available, so I picked it up. If you watch the other Stampede videos we did, my Stampede had these munition tires on it, my blue Scully truck. I believe the tires were literally specifically made for this truck, because every time I've seen it, it's been on an SMT10, this one or Maximum Destruction or one of these. But Gravedigger and the old school Bigfoot are near and dear to my heart, so the Gravedigger is sweet. Comes with the glow-in-the-dark guy. And these come with a ton of parts. It's actually ridiculous how much stuff comes in the box with it. You can almost build a second truck with how much stuff they give you. I guess I've never bought any axial stuff brand new, except for this. I have a lot of axial parts and crawling trucks, but so this one's a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I wish they had more than Gravedigger available yet, but I'm cool with Gravedigger. I will be putting another body on that, and that truck is pretty much bone stock. Before I get too far, like Team Associated 4-wheel drive race truck, that's got the Mama Monster in it. That's a stupid truck, it's stupid fast. My little Max Moto motorbike, it's a dirt bike that can't go in dirt, but it's fun. The UP RC Outlaws also have a yacht club that some members don't even know about. It's run by Nevitz. He's the boat guy. TRX4, that's a go-to now, it seems like, for the trail truck scale guys. I think it was 2018 when those came out, and it was the truck of the year, the truck of the century, the best thing out there. I don't want to talk crap about it. They're good trucks, they're fun, but it's not my favorite scale truck at all. A lot of people like it because you shift gears and you can have all that fun. So, Summit is not the first, but this one definitely made that style truck popular. The high and low gear, locking and unlocking front and rear differentials. Before scale trucks, and scale trucks have been around for a while, but they weren't as popular yet. So I ended up getting this one to be my crawling truck. So the only problem I had, even this one, when I bought it, it was way too expensive because these were just, they were pretty popular. They just come out of the solid body ones. I don't know if anybody remembers, they used to have these in like pure yellow. I don't remember if the big ones came in white, but they were pretty much a solid color. And as soon as they changed this, they fixed some other parts in them, then these were super expensive. This is the most expensive RC truck I've ever purchased. And now, every RC truck can be expensive, but now these, they're just an average price. It's not nothing crazy, but these were almost close to like the X01. I mean, these were, when I got this one, it was like $800. And now if you look them up now, they're not $800 anymore, but we got me and my cousin, the vice president, we both picked these up to do rock crawling stuff with. The only problem with these is everything you make to rock crawl with these will run right over. Anything that's hard with these trucks, obviously just the tire size, you can see right away that it has no problem. So you actually have to go out somewhere, big rock faces, big sand dunes, something to really test these trucks out. So I ended up trading this one away too, and the person who got it took pretty good care of it, and then the legend got it and started using it as, he wanted it as his basher. He had to get a specific basher. And I run arguments with people all the time. You don't need a basher to go bashing. Anything you take off a ramp or do a donut with, that's a basher. Doesn't matter what it is. It could be race trucks, and this is a four-wheel drive race truck with a slash body on it. Discontinued slash rally body. That's a basher now. So I just go outside and do donuts and stuff with it, take it off jumps. The Summit is not meant to be a basher. So once I finally got it traded back to me, I had to do a lot of work to it. Still, some of the lights are still out, but don't bash your Summits. It's not a basher. Alright, and then something that you've probably already seen, but I'll put them both up. Four-wheel drive, two-wheel drive, Traxxas Stampedes. As far as jumping and bashing and doing that stuff, these are my favorite trucks to do that with. Because I said it in my little Stampede video that these are known as the kiddie trucks. A lot of people get them as beginners, true enthusiasts. After they get through the cycle of having a few different vehicles, whether they're into launching or bashing, racing, crawling, whatever, they tend to pass these up after a while. They'll go to this one still every now and again, the four-wheel drive. There's nothing special about this except I got the VXL version and bought the stock style Chevron tires. I have the Talon tires, but I don't really put them on much. But with the two-wheel drives, everyone passes these up. This is my favorite. This thing can go off the side of a mountain, and if I do blow it up, it's a few bucks literally to put back together. I put the stock tires back on. They're just like a cloud. It's awesome. Since the last video, I mean, obviously I went brushless with mine, but I tuned it down a little bit. It's back to almost stock gearing now. Otherwise, it is just a wheelie machine, and you can't get anything out of it. That's all I did was I put RPM casters that Jarvis or Farva, you'll meet him here soon too, but he gave me those. Appreciate it, man. These are great, especially on these trucks, because you do land like this a lot. Your wheels will be turned and you'll land sideways on a tire. The RPM stuff definitely helps out. And just because I'm doing this video too, I recommend if you're getting into this hobby or you've been in it for a little while, don't go metal, don't go aluminum with your, especially suspension parts, maybe shocks, that's about it, shock caps. All your front end stuff, you start going metal or aluminum, you start bending it and it becomes more of a pain in the butt. And your next weakest link will break. So instead of breaking a little cheap plastic piece, you start breaking expensive stuff. So I think, yeah, so instead of that truck, I give a lot of the guys a hard time all the time about this truck right here. This is my favorite RC truck of all time. If I had to get rid of my whole collection and keep only one, this would be it. This is the Viterra Ascender Suburban. It probably looks familiar if you've been looking at crawling trucks. This just came out a few years ago, and it was kind of just disregarded by everybody. Straight out of the box, I did have to do one thing right away. The tires were these stock. They're real narrow, they're really hard, not a lot of bite to them. The grip itself is soft, but the tire's hard, so it turns it into a racing slick if you're trying to crawl up a rock. Right away I got a set of Traxxas Canyons. Talked to a lot of people within our club that get into the crawling a lot, and I think most people would agree that this is literally the most versatile trail truck tire there is. This will go over rocks, they will go up wet wood. If you play with crawling trucks a lot, I mean, it's not just going to go up, you're going to have to work at a lot of stuff, but this is the tire. This is the best tire I've seen for trail trucks. A lot of people will probably start doing negative comments right now, which is fine. You find something else that's better than these through a whole line of trucks, and I'm talking these on the Red Cats, on the Axials, everything. Like this is the best tire I've seen. So Traxxas they did a great job on this one. That's where I think they really shot up. Even if you look at the top 10 trail truck tires, this one doesn't even come up on the list, and I don't understand why, but that's the tire that wins it for us. So I had to jack up the post a little bit, I had to get the body off the tires because these tires are taller than those ones. I picked up RC 4-wheel drive bumper, just the front bumper, because this truck does not have any real structural bumper on it. The bumper comes right off the body. So it's just a piece of plastic right there, bolted on. So if you hit something, it pushes everything back. And this truck came stock with headlights and marker lights. So without an actual bumper, I was getting worried that I was going to pop a headlight out, break the plastic or something. And I still have to do something for the rear bumper because it's just a little piece of plastic as well. There's nothing underneath there. So that would literally be, I have 3 bad parts. No front bumper, no back bumper, and the tires were a little weird. Other than that, everything was fine. I stole the rack off of the HPI Venture, so that's about all I did to this truck, and you can hear my dog upstairs. So, for episode 1, that's not my whole collection by any means, just a lot of the trucks that I really like to play with. I do have a nitro truck, I have a couple more smaller trucks, stock slashes, got rustlers over there, but this is what I like to play with the most, these ones here. So if you're new to the hobby, you can send us questions and stuff. Like I say, the membership thing, we're exclusive. So one more time in the words of Mr. Grumpy.
We invite people to the club only. Grumpy has spoken.
Sounds good. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed. If you want to see any other videos of these trucks running or anything like that, we're going to be out a lot more here. We'll be crawling for a while, though. We have a crawling event coming up. Yeah, get ready for episode 2. Till then, nothing but love. Yeah. Somebody will get that. Don't worry.